Hello friends, music lovers, vinyl community, welcome to a brand new episode of the Vinyl Survivor. This is where I talk about albums that were new to my ears, let you know what I thought of them, give you a bit of history on each one, and let you know whether they're going to be going in the collection or not going to be going in the collection. This is sort of the reckoning time where I really give a serious listen to these albums and decide whether there's something I like or something I don't like. As you know, I buy a lot of records, a lot of stuff I don't really know what it is. It just looks interesting, and this is where I experience those things and let you know what they're all about. So let's go ahead and get into this. The first album we have to talk about here today is the fourth album from the Stylistics. This is titled Let's Put It All Together, 1974 on Avco Records. This featured the hit song You Make Me Feel Brand New. Definitely a well-known, well-loved soul R&B type song. Really cool artwork on this. I really like the artwork on this. This is on the Avco record label. I love purple, so the purple theme on here is really nice for me. As well as the label is purple and silver with a pink rim. And this is a pretty good soul R&B type album. I didn't love it. It was just enjoyable. It was just okay. But this one's not going to be staying on. But yeah, this does have Master Disc G Kong in it. So that's Gilbert Kong did the mastering at Master Disc. So yeah, that's the Stylistics. Let's put it all together. 1974. Okay, next up we have an album from 1999. This is the 9th album from the Flaming Lips, titled The Soft Bulletin. This is the Flaming Lips sort of transition from their early sound, their early more hardcore, slightly punk sound, into more of a psychedelic range. Of course, there's bits and pieces of each here and there sprinkled about, but this is really definitely a very noticeable transition to more of a psychedelic kind of sound. The purchase of this was inspired by watching the documentary. The documentary is actually called The Soft Bulletin. It's just sort of them. It was recorded, I believe, probably around 10 years later, 10 years after the release of the album. They were talking about where they were at and the problems with drug use and stuff, just talking about the album. So it inspired me to buy the album, and it's just a great late 90s early 2000s kind of album, and I love the Flaming Lips, and I like both periods really. I guess I prefer the psychedelic period more, but there's an insert there, some lyrics, second one there, and more lyrics. And this is a 2 LP set, but not a gatefold, just 2 LPs. You got one yellow label, one blue label, and this is also mastered at Master Disc. It looks like Don Grosinger, who did the mastering on this. It's a good sounding album, good sounding LP. Definitely something if you're a Flaming Lips fan, or if you're a fan of this period of the Flaming Lips before they got completely psychedelic like they are nowadays. This is a really nice pressing. I believe this was a 10-year reissue of this from 2009 or whatever. And I bought this new. So this is not an original pressing, but it sounds good. It's a nice copy, and it's a good album. I really enjoy this album a lot. I just love Waiting for Superman, the Spider Bite song, Spoonful Weighs a Ton. A great album, cool psychedelic piece, and sort of a transition period for the band. So the Soft Bulletin is staying in the collection. Okay, moving on back into the 60s again here. We have the second album from Laura Nyro. This is Eli and the 13th Confession from 1968 on Capitol Records, or not Capitol, Columbia Records. This is her first album on Columbia Records. And once again, I just am not feeling Laura Nyro. For some reason, she just doesn't connect with me. I don't know why. It should be something that does connect with me, but I don't know what it is. I'm going to keep trying, but this album just didn't connect with me with her, unfortunately. I know it's a well-loved album. She wrote all the songs. It's not like she's doing covers of other people's songs or something. She really means what she says here, but for some reason it's not connecting with me, so I didn't really enjoy this that much. 2i Columbia label, 1e stampers on both sides, so pretty early. There's supposed to be a lyric insert with this album that is missing from this one. Laura insisted that there was a lyric insert with these albums, but that was one of her demands. Unfortunately, this one is missing the lyrics. Maybe that would have helped me understand it better. But this one is not going to be staying in the collection, unfortunately. As I said, just didn't connect with me. I didn't enjoy it. Alright, moving on to a movie score here. This is the movie score to Only God Forgives by Cliff Martinez from 2012. This was a movie done by... a film done by Nicholas Winding. I still have not seen the movie. Supposedly it's on Netflix. I need to check it out. It doesn't sound like something I would like, but I do really enjoy this music. This is a very high energy electronic soundtrack score, without being like dance club bouncy kind of, electronic music. It's very much more like a high energy classical film score would be, but done electronically, if that makes any sense. A lot like the Tron soundtrack that I love so much, that's done by Daft Punk. Very orchestral, open, moving, very cinematic sounding pieces that are very high energy and very intense and driving, and I just love that kind of music, so I love this soundtrack. And this is a 2 LP set. The first LP is on blue vinyl, and the second one is on a clear red vinyl. A cool, very cinematic, high energy electronic film score, right up my alley, something I love. Really cool to have this in the collection, and even if I won't love the movie, I will love hearing the music. So Only God Forgives staying in the collection. Cliff Martinez, Nicholas Winding Refn film, and apparently this was limited to 4,000 units. It has a limited edition sticker on it, but it's not numbered, so that's staying in the collection. Alright, next up we're moving into the 80s here, back into the 80s. This is an album from Diana Ross titled To Love Again. This was, half of it was a compilation of her previous recordings, and half of it was new recordings. She did a track for a movie. I believe the movie was also the same title as the song, It's My Turn. Yeah, from the Columbia Pictures release, It's My Turn. So I believe the record label sort of put this out to try and capitalize on her singing the title track to the movie, and sort of put out some of her older work and a few new recordings here. This has Theme from Mahogany on it. Do you know where you're going to? Do you like the things that life is showing you? That kind of thing. Touch Me in the Morning, To Love Again. Some good classic sounding Diana Ross stuff. This one just didn't really connect with me either. It was okay, it was enjoyable, but it's a little too sweet and I don't know, a little too over the top for me to enjoy. This is on the purple Motown label. So yeah, it's Diana Ross, To Love Again. It was okay, but not something that will be staying in the collection, but enjoyable listen. Alright, next up, moving backwards in Diana Ross's catalog, we have Touch Me in the Morning from 1973. This is the actual album, her fourth studio album. Of course, features the title track, Touch Me in the Morning. She does a cover of John Lennon's Imagine, which I didn't really care for at all. It does end with a nice medley with Brown Baby and Love the Children, or Save the Children. But yeah, once again, this is another one. I just don't know. I'm just not really feeling Diana Ross, I guess, as much as I thought I would. Once again, we have the Motown record label. So yeah, Diana Ross, Touch Me in the Morning, not going to be staying in the collection. Okay, going back into the Flaming Lips collection, this is their debut album from 1986, titled Here It Is. This is definitely a very different Flaming Lips from what you are hearing today. This definitely has much more of a hardcore, slightly punk sort of sound to it, kind of fast and driving and harsh. And this is the Plain Recordings reissue of this. This is I bought this at the Here Again local record store, and it does have a nice essay about the album and the start of the band and everything on here by Dave Dunbar. And they did all these reissues on colored vinyl. So the debut album is on white vinyl. That's pretty good. And these sound pretty good to my ears. I'm very happy with these reissues. So if you're thinking about getting the reissues, going back in the collection like me, you haven't heard any of the early Flaming Lips stuff, and you want to give it a try, these are very reasonably priced and they sound good, and I can highly recommend them. So that's the Flaming Lips debut album. Here it is from 1986. I recommend this album, and I recommend these reissues from Plain Recordings. Alright, moving on. We're moving back into the 70s again here. We have the third album from Carole King. This is her album Music from 1971. This is her follow-up to Tapestry, a very almost immediate follow-up to Tapestry. Both albums were in the top 10 at the same time. They were so close together. I don't know if she just had extra material left over and had enough to make a second album, and the record company wanted to capitalize on that. But this is very good. If you Tapestry is one of those classic albums that everybody has, and it's on all those lists. But this one's just as good, I think. A very enjoyable album. So this is another one you can find in a dollar bin. It's definitely one you should hear. I think it's very good. This one has Some Kind of Wonderful on it. Again, on the Ode record label. And a nice sort of inner lyric poster here. Some handwritten notation. And then there is the Ode record label on this. So yeah, it's Carole King Music, the follow-up to Tapestry. If you like Tapestry, give this one a try too. Give more of Carole King's music a try. It's all pretty good, pretty enjoyable. It's pretty easy to find in dollar bins, thrift stores, flea markets, garage sales, all that kind of stuff. Not something that needs to be paid a lot for, but a very enjoyable, worthwhile, relaxing kind of music. Alright, staying in the Carole King wheelhouse here, we have her final album on Ode Records from 1976. This one's titled Thoroughbred. Features the song Only Love Is Real, well-known song on here. Also features David Crosby, Graham Nash play on here, as well as James Taylor. And just another beautiful album from her. I love this one too. Great album. Enjoyable all the way through. With the exception of Only Love Is Real, this was all new to me. So, really enjoyable album from her. She always seemed to manage to get nice deluxe packaging on her records, so that was really cool. A lot of detail and stuff. Really beautiful picture there. And some lyrics. And that one has a custom label on it. Her on the Thoroughbred there. So another good album from Carole King. Again, if you've only ever heard Tapestry, check this one out too. Check any of them out. They're all good. They're all enjoyable. Good stuff. So that one's staying in the collection also. Alright, and last but not least, we have the second album from the Flaming Lips catalog. This is titled Oh My God from 1987. Another one that's, it's early Flaming Lips. It's very much more of a hardcore kind of sound. This one does you start to hear a little bit more psychedelic sounds in here. A lot more, I don't know if instrumentation is the right word, but a lot more of a bigger sound to it, I guess you could say. Like I said, moving towards more of a psychedelic sound. Really good album. I really enjoyed these first two albums. I'm going to be buying some more of the early albums soon, I think. They're definitely on the radar. I just need to pull the trigger on them. Once again, a nice essay about the release of the album and the time period of where they're at and everything. This was written in 2005, so it's almost 20 years since this album was released. So, and once again, this is a Plain Recordings reissue, clear vinyl. So it's Flaming Lips, Oh My God. Another great album from them. And even though these aren't the psychedelic, heavy psychedelic ones that I like so much, I still enjoy these a lot, and definitely enjoy exploring them. So that's definitely an addition to the collection. So thank you for watching another episode of The Vinyl Survivor. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned. We got lots more of these to come. Lots of other vinyl related videos and beer reviews and whatever else I think to come up with. Some more photography stuff. Lots of stuff to talk about. Always fun times, and thanks for watching. Please subscribe, please leave a comment, and we'll see you again next time. Cheers.